Hello and welcome back to my channel. You're watching Living the Good Life with Becca Jones, a channel to help you live a happier and healthier life with the resources already available to you. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make an at-home smoothie cup. It's a DIY and it's one of my favorite recipes to keep in the freezer and just pop out anytime you need something quick to eat. One of the brands that you might have heard of is called Daily Harvest. They sell frozen smoothie cups and you add your liquid of choice and then you add it to the blender and you have an instant meal. The only downside is they're very expensive, and I know that some people also might want to use reusable containers, which you can definitely do with this recipe. I'm actually showing you with the disposables. I ordered these because I had them for work and you can throw them away afterward. Smoothies are kind of hard to wash if you don't have a way to immediately rinse them out. So I definitely recommend either having access to a sink or using something like this, which I will link below. But if you do have a reusable container and access to a sink, that is even better because it'll save you money and it'll be more helpful towards the environment. So the first recipe I'm going to show you is the one that I usually use. This recipe is also keto friendly for those of you on a keto diet. So I like this recipe because I used it when I was following a diet similar to keto, and it wasn't identical, but anyway, it did require the no sugar, no fruit rule. And so I like this recipe because you can have this smoothie and you don't really notice that there's no fruit in it. It just tastes like a smoothie because it's icy cold and it doesn't have anything really textured or grainy or bitter. So that's why I like to use this recipe. So the first thing you're gonna do is get one of your cups and you're gonna grab a handful of washed spinach and you're gonna stuff it in there. You can use kale if you don't have spinach. I like using spinach or a mix because the spinach tends to blend a little bit creamier, and I like that there's not a lot of texture when I drink the smoothie. That makes it go down a lot easier to me. So that's what I'm gonna start with. And this is a green smoothie recipe. So this first one is a green smoothie, which means that we're gonna get our greens in there for the day. Your next item that you're gonna add is gonna be some cucumber. Now I had cucumber in my fridge and I didn't want it to go bad, so I pre-cut it and froze it. And so I have this already made up. I peeled some of them. I peeled the ones with the thicker peeling, and then I didn't peel the ones that are snacking cucumbers. These aren't the pickling cucumbers, but these are the miniature cocktail cucumbers, and I don't peel those ones. I just wash them and chop them up and leave the skin on. Otherwise, I do peel the rest of the types of cucumbers. And I did the same thing with my zucchini. I already had zucchini a couple weeks ago and I knew that I'd be making these soon and I didn't want the zucchini to go bad. So I went ahead and chopped some of it up and froze it. So this is another thing that you can try as well if you want to do that. So then I'm going to put a little bit of zucchini in there. I don't add celery or anything that's going to be very fibrous because I want my smoothie nice and smooth. And so that is the DIY Daily Harvest style cup. And what I'm gonna do actually for this one is I'm gonna add some cocoa powder so that way it has some flavor when I use it. You can also add some lemon, which is also very good for you and very alkalizing. Sometimes I'll add a squeeze of lemon to the smoothies so that way when I blend it, I don't have to have any fresh lemons available. So that's another thing that you can try, is adding lemon and things like that. So I'll show you a couple more recipes, but I'm gonna add a little bit, not too much, because the cocoa can actually be very strong. So I'm just gonna I added about a half a teaspoon of my cocoa powder. The cocoa powders are not all made the same. So for yours, you might add more or less. Mine is unsweetened cocoa powder. And then I'm gonna pop the lid on. And these lids actually have a double lining. And so they stay pretty good and non-freezer burnt for quite a while. You can label these with either a Sharpie or a cute little label if you want to go to that effort, or you could put stickers on them. I usually just put one letter on them so I know what's in them, and I usually just have this smoothie. So a lot of times I don't actually label those. So you just pop these in your freezer, and then I will show you how to use them in the morning. So for this next recipe, we're actually going to make something similar to a Jamba Juice type smoothie. They had something called Berry Upbeat, and I did not look up the ingredients or anything like that. We're just gonna make a healthy berry and beet smoothie. So I'm gonna start with a little bit of spinach. I might not use quite as much because I want this one to have a lot of the beets, which are also healthy for you. So I'm gonna add pre-cooked beets. You can use raw beets, especially if you have a high-speed blender. I just am using these because these are the beets that I already had, and you can use cooked beets too. It's not gonna hurt you. The raw beets, some people think have a lot more nutrition in them, so you can use those as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and add those. And then my last ingredient that I'm gonna add to my berry smoothie, my berry beet smoothie, is some berries. And you can use strawberries, you can use raspberries, you can use blueberries, or you can use any kind or a mix that you want. I'm just gonna use some of these raspberries because they were the first ones in my freezer. And again, I did not look up the recipe. I just wanted to make a berry and beet smoothie. So this is gonna be a red nutrient smoothie with a little bit of spinach in it just to give it a little bit of extra nutrition in there. And so I packed this one pretty full because the beets take up a lot of room. And then again, I'm gonna put the cap on here. And when you're ready to use them, you fill them with the liquid of choice. I don't know about you, but I have not been eating as healthy as I would like to lately. So this is the perfect recipe for you to start getting some more nutrients in your diet. I've been getting into all of my quarantine snacks, just like my cats have been doing the same thing. They actually tore open bags and bags of kind of some of the brands of cat food that we don't usually use, and they thought it smelled really good and they tore into it, and they've been eating quarantine snacks, and I've been doing the exact same thing with the food that I don't usually feed myself, but we were recommended to have some shelf-stable food available in case it becomes difficult to get groceries. So I've been doing the same thing, and I've been ripping into granola bars and things that maybe have a lot of sugar or dairy in them. So I am making these Make Ahead smoothie cups so that way I can add something a little bit more nutritious into my day. And I feel like it's the perfect recipe for that. You can have them any time of day, but if you have them first thing in the morning, it serves two purposes. One purpose is that you've already gotten some nutrition in your day. So it's kind of like taking a vitamin in the morning. It's not to say that you can't eat something else after you've had these. These don't have a lot of calories in them. You may need to eat something fairly quickly. In fact, it might start up your metabolism a lot faster if you're somebody that doesn't usually eat breakfast. You may find that you need breakfast after having one of these smoothies because your metabolism has been started. But the second purpose that it serves is that you may want to eat healthier throughout the rest of the day. So whether or not you do eat healthy the rest of the day, you've gotten some nutrition in. But it may encourage you because if you eat a really unhealthy breakfast for the first thing that you have, you might feel like you've already blown it and then just keep blowing it. And I think everybody's probably done that before. So this will serve the purpose of not only giving you nutrition, but starting your day with really good nutrition. So hopefully you will follow that pattern throughout the rest of the day. So I know that I need to start doing that again. I hope that it encourages you to do the same thing. Okay, so let's get started on our next smoothie. So the next smoothie we're gonna make is just an apple and green smoothie. So we're going to put greens, and this is one that I would probably recommend using some kale if you have it, maybe some arugula. I am just gonna use my spinach, and then I'm gonna use my cut up apples, and you can cut them up as big or small as you want depending on kind of what blender you're gonna use. And then I'm gonna add a squeeze of lemon to this one. And one of the reasons I'm doing that is because I always like to put lemon with apples so they don't brown as fast when they get oxidized. So here's the squeeze of lemon in your apple and green smoothie. It is also really good for you. It is alkalizing and it has vitamin C. So it'll be a good choice for you as well. All right, and then the next smoothie I'm gonna make is gonna be an orange carrot smoothie. So I'm gonna put some carrots, and I'm actually not gonna do greens in this smoothie, but you can if you want to. And then the oranges, I didn't feel like chopping them up, so they're kind of bigger, so that's why I didn't want to do the greens. If you want to chop them up and then chop up your carrots a lot smaller, I just used the baby carrots, and I went ahead and just put them in there. I have a high-speed blender, and it will work in my blender. If you need to chop up carrots, you can do that, or maybe shred them in the food processor or something, or buy shredded carrots maybe, if that's easier for you. And then, so I've got an orange carrot smoothie. And then next, I'm actually going to make a carrot cantaloupe smoothie. And I really like frozen cantaloupe blended. I've never had it this way. Again, I usually actually just do the green smoothie with the spinach and the cucumber and the zucchini. And I keep it really simple. Sometimes I add some lemon, sometimes I add some cocoa. And that's about it. I do have another smoothie that I'm going to be sharing with you soon. And that is my acne fighting smoothie, and so I will share that recipe with you very soon. But I wanted to share with you these easy DIY cups. And so this next one, we're just going to add some cantaloupe. And again, I didn't cut mine super small. You can fit more in here if you cut them small. But what I've noticed is that once you add the water, if you want to add it back into your cup, you actually don't want to overfill your cup. My cups look pretty full because the ingredients I'm using aren't chopped really small. If your ingredients are chopped really small, I would probably fill your cup to maybe there or there, like an inch or so from the top, because you're going to be adding water and then it's going to blend, and you don't want to have way too much for your cup when you're done. So that is going to be my carrot cantaloupe smoothie. I actually like just plain cantaloupe blended. That's another thing you can try as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish making up these smoothies, and then I will show you the smoothies blended, or at least one of them blended in the morning. All right, so I have a meeting in about 20 minutes, so this is all I have time to eat, and I would prefer to eat something else usually when it's morning. I don't necessarily crave this, but once I drink it, I feel better and it tastes good. I just don't necessarily crave it first thing in the morning. I usually want coffee, even though I'm drinking decaf coffee now. My body still doesn't realize that it's decaf, and it's like, I need coffee. So I'm gonna drink this before I have any coffee or breakfast other than this, and then I will have something else later. So I'm going to go ahead and just use this to show you how it works. So I've already punched a hole in the top for my straw. I'm just gonna fill this cup with water. So this is gonna be a really quick, easy, and I didn't fill it all the way up to the top with water, just because sometimes it does make a little bit too much. This is a quick, easy way to get your breakfast, or at least to get some vitamins. And it's good. So as much as you don't want to have this first thing in the morning, I encourage you to, and then you can follow it up with something a little bit more fun. If you like this video and want to see more videos like this, please subscribe and like my YouTube channel. It'll help me know which videos that you like and what to make more of. And if you have any comments on what you'd like to see, please leave them in the comments below.